topic is about branding. So many UX designers, sorry, cracking. So many UX designers like just focus more on like creating the layout and the scene, and they forget about the branding as well, how it impacts the interactions and everything else on it. So another time is going to talk about this tonight. Also, we'd like to thank first time like not always like come to just be present, but also to assist me this event. And tonight we have Bapan, you can say hello to everyone. So it's a live session, so we're going to put it on the Facebook page tonight. Okay, thank you very much, Tom.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you guys had dinner already. Just a quick check of the room. Great, I am. And who here is a business owner? Great, I am. Okay, so I'm not a software programmer. Anybody here is a software programmer? Great. So you see, these three things align all the time within this kind of topic. There'll be a designer guy, there'll be a software guy, there'll be a business guy. But what I would like to say is that actually all of us are doing design. Be it you're a business owner, be it you're a software guy or not. So throughout the talk, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So, wow, I'm quite curious, what are you guys expecting? Just a random, like, when you see this title, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come to try to see what I can get. What is that one thing you want to get? I can walk. Anything, just random, yo.
When I see a lot of user interface, when I see a lot of apps or a lot of websites, you change the color, it could be for a different band, or you change the logo, it could be for a different brand. They don't really communicate the brand essence. They look very generic. So,
that's great. That's an interesting one. What do you guys hope to get out from these? Welcome. We just began, just in time. How about you?
I am business owners and I would like to know knowledge for IT design.
How to apply design in IT. Okay, so these are two interesting, I would say, interesting difference. So one thing I want to say is that if anybody came here expecting some kind of methodology or best practice, don't have. I'm not going to share that because you can easily Google it. There's tons of YouTube, there's tons of Udemy online courses and everything. So it's not about methodology, it's not how you do things, it's not the best way to do things. But this is very much to open a conversation to see how are we actually understanding the topic. So throughout, we'll understand. So in this whole title itself, there's quite a lot of big topics. So branding itself is a big topic. User experience itself is a big topic. Design as itself is also a big topic. So throughout this talk, I will break it down and see if it makes sense to everyone. So just a little bit background and put in context. I'm from Zoho Design, and what we do is we are a creative and branding consultancy. What we do is business-driven design. So we always have to talk about the business first, and then we'll design to support the business. If not, we'll be designing for, maybe if it's a charity, design for the charity's goal. If it was for education purposes, we design the course for education purposes. So design itself has to link to something else rather than how it looks. So these are generally some of the projects that we do. If you can see, it's quite a wide range. So we've done agriculture, investments, insurance, banks, Singapore, Indonesia, Changi Airport Group, retail products, carousel, mobile apps, e-commerce, agriculture, Japan. So all this actually means nothing because actually all of them are a business. Be it whatever genre you're in, everything is business, and business have all similar problems, and we are able to do the design works for it. So before we move on, this is actually one of my favorite. I don't know if you find it a joke, but from young, When we ask any questions, it goes like that. Understand? Yes. Any question? No. So from young, we've been practicing this all the time. So I just hope that you guys have more questions to ask, because if you think about it, they'll say, hey, is this design nice? Right? Usually. And sometimes when somebody asks, what do I do? Oh, I'm a designer. Oh, then you must be very good at drawing. I don't know if you guys get that. You're a designer, oh, you must be very good at drawing. You must be very creative. But all these misconceptions and things around is that we will uncover. So design is maybe just random. What do you guys think design is? Sorry? Design is a solution. That's cool. A methodology for solutions. Relationship. That's very interesting. Visual perception. Just throw, it just allows me to just understand the crowd a little bit better so that I can adjust the content. Anyone else want to try? Okay, so we have relationship, visual perception, we have methodology for problem solving, solution. Okay, that's cool. So generally that's usually the case. But I like to do my favorite thing. I'll go to the dictionary and figure out what is design. Because this is probably something that we can't really argue about, and nobody's gonna say that, hey, the dictionary is kind of wrong. But of course, some context, right? But clearly, if you look at this, a plan or a drawing produced to show the look and function and working of a building. So if I make it easier, most of you have probably heard this word, floor plan. Have you guys heard of the floor plan? So floor plan, right? So the plan is designed for you to walk around. The map is designed for that action. So plan. So this is where I always go into. So design, to me, is a plan. It's a plan for something, right? So let's just use this example. The design of a government policy is to reduce the poor by 20%. Sounds good as a sentence, right? The design, let's say we change the word for design. Well, basically the policy would be text, a few plans of action. So the plan of a government policy is to reduce the poor by 20%. So you can see clearly that the use of design and plan matches. Yo. Put a mic
on you. The same systems on from that sector.
Cool. In the meantime, you guys can think about it. If you guys, I would love to discuss about it because I haven't got anyone who could give me an alternative view about this. So now it's very one-sided. One-sided. I don't know. Or you guys think this makes sense? You could say it too. Any comment is accepted. I don't know how to do this. Usually I do my talks without mic. I feel it's more organic. You guys want the mic? Or no? It's good for there, right? But everyone in the back, can you hear me? You guys want the mic or without the mic? You want with? You want with mic? No? No? Okay.
I personally like it without the mic because it sounds a little robotic and it sounds overpowering sometimes. But if you can't hear, just move to the front, please. Simple. There's 2, 4, 6. Like, how about we take 1 minute and everyone move closer? So this could be a more intimate session. It's a lot better. Yeah?
The god of designers. If you keep falling off your chair, get better posture.
Ta-da. That's it. Solve it, right? Just fix the habit. Great. Oh, wow. Right to the front row. Okay. So, a design is a plan. You plan for an objective. And generally, when you design something, you design for the business. But a lot of people would say you design for the good of people, right? But if your business is not meant for the good of people, then it changes direction because the business is the objective. So this is specifically how we work all the time. If a client or a company do not understand their business, there's no way we can design it right. What I mean by right, everything will be subjective. It's like, do you like it or not? I like it, but maybe not. Maybe this, maybe change it a little bit. But what's it for? Is it for personal satisfaction or is it for the business goals? So this was really something important because what allowed me to have my very first reasonable size project was because I answered this to the boss. He asked me this, okay, I like your portfolio, I like your presentation. What makes you think that, if we hire you to do the project, I will be happy. I will get what I want. So I said, sorry, Mr. William, my job here is not to make you happy. My job here is to make your clients or your customers happy, because only when they are happy, they will buy your product. And only when they buy your product, you will be happy. So my job here is to understand his customer, not him. So that was how it happened. So both of us are now on the same page. It wasn't about me pleasing him. It wasn't about me answering to him to say that, do you like it or not? Do you like it or not? No, do your customers like it? If your customers like it, it means nothing to him. Unless it was a project for his self-satisfaction, which it happens once in a while. Clients do actually pay just to feel good because they had in their mind and said already, I want it this way. I just need to hire somebody to tell me that it's fine. So it happens and we walk away from such projects because you're just feeding the ego of the client. So that's where we avoid. Now this is one classic example of if the objective is missed, what's the point? He laughed immediately. Can anyone else tell me what's wrong with this? Exactly. I don't really know the brand, but you probably could guess it. Like this. So usually I will always ask this question, for what? You're designing, you're doing this, for what? So for what? So this is always the situation, for what? So design needs to have an objective. It needs to serve a purpose. Design for something, not design for this. Maybe it's for visual, I don't know. Maybe it was meant to be printed on a transparent bottle, but it just happened that, hey, we need to come up with another color. Okay. Easily, okay. Ta-da. And I believe they printed a lot of this bottle. So if things are done wrongly, for example, stupidity, it gets manufactured. It gets multiplied. So this is the thing. I don't know how much have they sell it. Now, this is called the blue painting. For real, you can Google it. It's called the blue painting. It is sold for this amount. And this is my classic favorite example of art is not design. This is art. Art is subjective. It's an expression. It's up to how you feel. Some someone probably said, yeah, this is cool, I'm going to pay for it. But to the most of us in this room, maybe at least 99% were like, nah, I'm not going to buy it. So your business needs to be objective. You can't design something that your business feels subjective. Maybe like, maybe don't like. So all this is just to contrast design. First, we understand design. So now that we have understand design, let's take a look. User experience. How many of you down here does UX? Don't be afraid, I am not gonna like mark you. See some hands like this. Okay, so a few people do UX. It's pretty interesting. Who does UI? It's UI. So I bet your job role is UI/UX. 2 in 1. Yeah, it always happens in the industry, and that makes me uncomfortable because it clearly shows that you don't know who are you hiring. From a business owner point of view, you don't know who you're hiring because you put the job scope UI and UX. Clearly, the words is different, right? In user interface or user interactions or user experience. People misconfuse. The user experience is kind of similar to the user interaction. UI/UX. Fair. But the misconception is that people do it user interface/user experience. Now that's where the problem here comes. So UI is user interaction/UX. That makes sense. A UI guy and a UX, okay, is a little bit stressed because you got to do two things. You got to think of how it's going to look and represent the experience, and then you got to think of the experience. Too much job scope going on. So let's try and see if I make sense. If I don't, please tell me. If not, I'm going to go on sharing this to someone else, and then stupidity just get multiplied. Do me a favor. So of course, favorite, we go Google it. And all these things come up, and we're like, so what is what? It's really hard. I'll do my favorite. Dictionary. Okay, so after reading through all this, I think this makes the most sense. Experience is a feel. It's an emotion. Something a little bit not tangible, could be tangible. Anyone don't agree with this? User experience. So users experience. You think about the person's emotion and feel. So my question all the time is, what experience do you want users to get or feel, right? And this is a very, very important question because the world of UX these days, everyone is looking into data-driven. Can we do the A/B testing? Can we understand what they want? Look, users don't know what they want. There is no way you can ever have a survey to say that I want a very brittle and dangerous glossy screen for my mobile phone. You will fail that survey. All the phones we're using these days is the fragile glass. If you put in a survey, would you want a matte plastic screen that will not crack if you drop, that will not have that thumbprint? Probably people want that. But would you ever say this? And if you guys know the Samsung Edge, that nice sharp bezel, when I look at it, my heart, because it gets knocked all the time. And Huawei just did it. Huawei Mate Pro had that curved, nice sharp bezel that is so risky that will crack. So sometimes we need to understand that data can't really tell you everything. Data only probably tell you what not to do, but they don't tell you what to do. This is the situation that everyone is relying on. Data-driven design, blah, blah, blah. I'll show you an example of what data brings you. So, this is from a website, UX Design. So I took out the words, make it easier. Designing for the user's experience by enhancing usability, interaction, accessibility, emotion. All this wireframe, all this hand-eye thingy, camera, whatever, you're looking at the usability, you're looking at the interaction, you're looking at the accessibility. A lot of times people forget about emotions. I'll show you an example. Everyone know this company? Traveloka, right? Super, super popular. Everyone know Skyscanner? Yeah, they've been acquired by China, by the way. So China know where you're flying now. Now, I'll go back and forth. It's the same thing. Any other booking website that has the same thing here, then what's the point of hiring the UX designer? What's the point of having the UI designer? It's the same thing again. If you're going to say that this is what customer want, because they come in, they will click in what they want, and that will give them the best experience, because we're giving the user what they want, right? That's what people always say, right? Just do what the user wants. But my question is, it is designed for convenience, but is convenience the only experience that we're trying to give the customers? I don't know. Airbnb have changed. They've changed the US website. Search for an experience, not search for a place to stay anymore. If you guys can go check it out. So everyone's looking into, oh, what's the shortest step to the mobile app? What's the quickest login? Let's not put the login, let's not put the sign up, let's put it later. Let the user take a look at the contents first before signing up. All these are replicated in every other app. So based on the first thing he's mentioned, you can just change the color, you can just change the logo, and boom, it becomes another company. So what are you doing to differentiate yourself to be different? Because if all these products are the same, what's the thing they're going to fight against? Price. We're going to flip through Traveloka, Skyscanner just to find the price. And the best part, they're all digging and scraping from the same companies. It's a price war that everybody never wins. So this is what, I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah. You are not doing it wrong if no one knows what you're doing. So this is happening in the industry of UX. People are hired because they can do wireframe. But hey, maybe the wireframe's job is the UI designer's job. I don't know how it links, right? So I came from a world where we design products, not digital products. I graduated from product and industrial design. This is a product, this is a product, this is a product. Basically, a definition of product is something that someone uses. Right? Simple, right? The digital thing, it is a product itself. The business itself, it is a product itself because it's for customers to use. So there's overhype for digital product designers. Overhype. And just because they can use the digital tools, just because they are much better on digital platform to sell themselves, it gets a bit skewed. There are a lot of original product designers that thinks about ergonomics, thinks about your emotions, thinks about ethnographic research. All these are missing. Now, everyone only looks straight into the mobile app, the wireframe. Thanks for coming. Yeah. So, just remember this. The industry still doesn't know. So, my question is, where does the UX designer get direction from? I don't know. This is like an open question to everyone. Where do you think they get the direction from? Yeah.
Like from users and the business needs?
From the users and the business needs. Anyone else?
I would repeat the same thing that you said as product designer, economics, all the sort of things. What would be intrinsically linked to the other things.
Yep. Anything else? A lot of times, the UX designers get the direction from the brief. Right? But who made the brief? Now that's the question. Who made the brief? Are you just following the instructions, following the checklist, and then use research to make sense of the brief? It could be, could not be, I don't know. I don't know how your company works. So we have covered user experience, we've covered design itself. Here comes I think the highlight, like everybody would be curious about the branding. Yeah. So this is what people usually perceive of branding. Hey, I need to do a branding. Can you help me design the logo? Okay, that's like two different things. But it always happens. If I were to say 95% of our clients who ever do branding ask for a logo design first, or web design, or can you help me design a mobile app? Yes, I can do all this, but do you have what it takes to give me the information? Because they think that doing the logo is the cheapest way out. Yeah, I need the logo, man, because it doesn't look right. But let's just put it this way. If anyone were to design the logo, Grab. Are you serious? You're just going to use Grab? It's like an everyday word. You know, a boy grabs an apple from the table. Apple, Grab. These are like huge brands. How did they use the basic word and turn it in such an iconic word? It is what makes sense of the business that builds the brand. And then the logo itself is the shortcut icon, just like your computer. A programmer does not design the icon first and then think how to program it. They think of the whole program first, then design a shortcut icon. So you understand the whole business of Grab, booking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That green icon. Brand is everything that a person interacts with, that gut feeling. A lot of time customers are not so smart because they know, they feel nice about it, they like it, but they can't tell you why. So asking them is a waste of time because the users do not know what they want all the time. Yeah, you imagine you go to a restaurant and then he has, oh yeah, tell me what you want, I'll cook for you. You take the longest time to decide as compared to the one, there's a menu. I want number 5, I want number 6, let's go. But when you give them an open chance, especially Thai food itself, kapau musap, yeah, let's go. Easy. But you know, if you want a bit more thinking to it, yeah, I want like kapau musap and I want like mushroom and I want like garlic by the side. It's too hard. So users don't really know what they want. Like, I want something spicy. I want something soup today. I'm not really sure what I'm going to have for dinner. This actually happens in daily life. So if you do your research to your customer, don't ever ask them what they want because they will never know. Branding itself presents itself in all medium. Shapes, visual. Words, eat fresh. Star Wars, I'm your father, you know. Taste, smell. All these are these elements that someone actually come across. The way your staff speak, the way your office looks, the way the person pressed the button to go up to your office. All this is what the users feel or the person feel. Emotions, as the dictionary says, an experience is an emotion. So generally, mark of a great brand is when it becomes what it represents. Scotch tape, can you Google it? Can you help me Photoshop it? But if you first hear the word Google Scotch tape, Scotch, oh, is that whiskey? Google, you probably don't know what's that before that. Photoshop, what's that? Can I buy photos from the shop? Now, okay, this is very local, okay? So in Thailand, there is, according to the title, okay? For those who know, good. For those who don't know, you can find out from your friend. Ta-da! Thailand also have It's called Mama, and it's the instant noodle. You can go to any noodle shop, any food stall. Do you have Mama noodle? No, we don't. We only have Sen Lek or Sen Yai. But yeah, cool, right? Even in Thailand itself, it's created. But if you ask anyone to design the logo, who would have done this? I don't know if any designer would have done this first. It's probably because of the name, because of the noodle. Okay. Let's come up with some graphic logo straight away. Probably ended up like this. But it's an extremely big brand, doing really well, despite of having a logo like that. Okay, I said like that. I don't really mean that it's ugly or what. I just say like that. Like that. Okay? No one's gonna pay for that. You're like, okay man, 1,000 baht, thanks for your job. It's just the text, put some color, put some outline, ta-da. Even though if the logo is nice, but the noodle is crap, it will be crap. Focus on the business first, understand the objective, and who is important for the business. What kind of customer is for the business? Okay, try to match to the flavor and taste. You guys waiting for sound? No, there's no sound. But this is just to show you that even this, you probably can hear the sound in your mind now, but there's no sound. There's no sound at all. But yes, even an iconic sound is part of branding. The sound of 7-Eleven in Thailand, when the battery is flat, that sound, that weird sound. 7-Eleven is so iconic. No 7-Eleven will ever have no sound. You must have this entrance sound. Ding, ding. So yeah. So, what I'm saying for today's title is User's Experience is an extension from the brand experience, because the brand itself has all these other elements. A lot of times, websites are designed as websites. A brand, a business, is designed as a brand and business. Because why? The guy doing the website did not consider the emotion. If the brand says you need to feel surprised, but you come to the website and you're just like, okay, 3 steps very quickly. You miss that element of surprise. If you go to the website and it doesn't really make sense of the brand, then what's the point of having the UI or the UX designer? What if the mobile app is just another framework of another wireframe from another mobile app that looks the same, feels the same? No difference. So this is the end of the topic. If you guys have anything you want to chat and discuss, actually that's more valuable. We could discuss about it. I think it's more valuable. Yeah. Or any slide you want to see again, because we have enough time to go back to the slides. Okay, we can just pass the mic and play music and then stop. All right.
I was wondering how you align online, offline experience of a brand, of the same brand.
How do we align? Think about it. If it's an e-commerce in a shop, if it's a commerce, an actual shop, what do you feel when you go into that shop? That grandeur of looking around, right? Like, oh, a lot of stuff, shops going on. Can that not be replicated into e-commerce? Why is e-commerce looking the same? Go in, look at the products, or look at all the promotions. Where is that? Where is that sense of, let's feel it, huh? Where is that sense of walking in the mall, looking around, look for the wayfinding, look for the signs, find the shops? That is the thing that's missing so many e-commerce shops. You come in and poof, all the product. So that's why I said, is convenience the only experience? Where's the experience of finding the product or discovering the product? So think about it. If you walk in a shop, how do you feel? How do you translate that feel into digital? So a lot of times, digital experience is missing the point because it's just for convenience. So that is what I say a lot, and there's a lot of times you go to Lazada, you go to AliExpress, you go to Tokopedia, you go to, I don't know what other 11th Street, tons of it is all the same. Go in, poof. Go in, poof. You go in, poof. In the end, what they do? Fight the price game. That's terrible, right?
So like, as a UX designer, most of the time, they have to work with like digital products, but the brand itself is not only it goes like every channel, not only online or offline. So like, does it mean that UX designer has to work with like offline channels?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
because sometimes it's quite challenging or difficult to work with all channels. Like the brief itself doesn't really like if you work in an agency, sometimes the brief really specify that I have to work with a website and
that is the hard part because that's the reason why I never work in an agency.
do you have any suggestions to go around that?
Wow. You work in an agency.
Yeah.
Ask for the business plan. Ask for the vision and mission.
Sometimes it feel like it's really out of the scope and it could go beyond that and really
Scope it in. That's what I did. When I started my company 7 years ago, but that was the first 2 that failed. It failed because I was constantly trying to complete the brief, which is do the design, do the logo, create a brand name. I couldn't get it right all the time because it's so subjective. Like one manager will like it, the boss will say, no, that suck. What do? Rework. And as I go, I realize I'm spending too much time on this project, profit goes down the drain, end up I'm paying for the loss. So that's why first 2 years failed. And it allowed me to understand that because the customers don't know what they want. So it was my job to dig out from them, to not tell them what they need to know, but to first allow them to realize that they don't have this information. And because they don't have this information for me, I can't do the work. And it's not that I can't do the work. I can add on this scope to help you find out, then we can get back to that scope. So it's just like how a logo design project allowed me to look into the business, give a bit of analysis, a bit of research, and then work on the brand. Then in the end, okay, let's work on the logo. Because when they are aligned with you, what they're looking for the logo, they will soon realize that the logo is irrelevant because you actually understand the business better first. So for your case, you need to add on the scope, no choice. You need to find, in agency, they call it the sales designer or the account executive or account manager, right? That person needs to know how to do the job. But a lot of agencies can't do it because you are selling time. The faster you do, the higher you put the numbers, there you go. It's not like the outcome. You guys are focused on the output. So that's a bit hard. I can't help. But you can put in your own work. And then you will start getting frustrated soon. Like, how the hell? I can't do the work. It happens. So yeah, just now the logo, we work with Dentsu. We had to close the project because Dentsu don't know what they need. Because they didn't get from the client. Thank you. But does that answer? Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello. So what is the factor to change the branding experience to user perceptions in terms of us saying you work in a bank and then there's a service there and how do you know the initial thought?
Wow, that's quite a packed question. Can you ask again? What factor? Sorry, can you?
So what factors branding when you already have the service?
It depends what your.
How do you know?
It depends on the business. It depends on what's the business for. So, for example, bank, right? So this is perfect because I do projects with banks. A lot of time, the banks. Anyone here works in a bank?
I am.
Ah, so you're pretending as my friend was saying. Okay, it's really hard because banks itself is numbers driven. It's very Excel sheet driven. But I've always asked the bank, why don't you help your customers to get the loan that would allow the business to get better so that they can actually take a bigger loan? But a lot of times, it comes to you take the loan, you can't pay back, hence you'll be tied down and you keep paying the interest. And then we seize your asset. It's a win-lose kind of service experience. But what if it comes to the point that, I don't know, but maybe in Singapore there's some banks, DBS have started giving some business advices that can help your business to get better because you took our loan. Your business gets better, you can pay, firstly you pay off the loan, secondly you can take a bigger loan. So you grow together with the customer. Krung Thai Bank says growing together, right? I don't know if they stay true to that. But yeah.
So the answer is the business proposition or the user need?
Business proposition, depends. Do you put the user's need before the business? Or do you put the business and try to find the user's need to match? Do you set your company's vision because this is what you want to do? Or do you find out from a customer first, then it drives the vision of the business? It depends, it depends. A lot of times you don't get that luxury because a lot of times the business has been set and they try to find a customer to meet. As compared to if you're a new company, you have all rights to do your research first. That is the pain point. I'm going to fix that pain point. Hence, my vision is fixed to the user. User-centric. User-centric company. Because in all else said and done, every business, you need to have the people's element. Any sector, agriculture investments, retail products, whatever. E-commerce, it can be a tech company, but it's earning from people. If you don't look at the people, you don't understand the emotion, then you're just looking at Excel sheet. A lot of businesses are driven like that.
So another question.
Yeah.
Thanks, though.
No problem.
Most of the branding when we think of something attached to it as a product or a service. And how do you know which element from the user to choose to make a logo?
Which element? Okay, so we never go by the visual first. First, you must understand your product and what makes sense of it. And then you probably can do your own survey to see whether it matches these particular visuals. Start by text. Then you have the visual to match. And then after that, you take that visual to take the key elements to do it in the logo. It's not that easy by saying, but this is generally how we do it. This is the, if you call it the framework. We go by text. Based on, for example, this product. This word. Which of these is most suitable to that product? Okay, then you look at it. Okay. So which image match that word? Which part of this image makes sense to that word? Then so on and so forth. It's an iterative process. I can't help you understand in 5 minutes because it took me 5 years. Okay, did that help? Did that help? Okay. We have quite good time, so.
My question is like, how did you fight for it, for the branding? Why people give more value to another thing? It's trendy. And how did you validate the branding?
Whoa, that's 3 questions, man. First one again. How do we fight for the... How do we fight for it? This. If it's sorry?
From this slide, in my thinking, it's just like we start from the business and we scope into the product and we find a way to make it by UX process. And as you say, we leave the visual in the last part.
Yes.
And mostly the outcome is going to be like this is easy to use, but less of emotion. How do you fight for it?
How do I fight for it, right? So the objective of the business is, if I were to say that's the essence of the business, it has to extract that essence into the product. For example, like if this is salty and sweet, that product needs to feel salty and sweet. And how does it look? It needs to look salty and sweet visually. And it must feel salty and sweet. So the base essence, the base rule, I will call it rule, comes from the business. You put in the product. A lot of products feels rigid because it's based on usability, technicality, but it's missing the emotion. So you need to depict the emotion even in the business objective. Because if the business is just about conversion rate, you also need to know how was it converted.
But mostly,
Yeah.
this guy is going to say, if this works and this is get the revenue,
Yeah.
It's okay. And UX is called like, is it usable? It's fine.
If it's usable, it's fine.
Yes, and the tech is just like, is it can you in time? Is this okay?
Okay.
And the visual is the last part.
Then it depends.
Because you have to get the UI, you have to get the everything, and the last part is just put the visual. And if it's not matched, it is no time to change.
Okay, this is a very advanced question because he probably have product manager or a product, you're a product guy, right? Yeah, because he's coming from the product guy. So his question actually links back to product life cycle. So
I think the visual is not in the trade-off slider.
Is it not the what? Sorry?
It's not in the trade-off slider.
Not in the trend.
Trade-off.
Trade-off.
Yes.
Oh, it's definitely not a trade-off. Unless you're trying to grow the business by Excel sheet format. Then the visual is a trade-off. Because you put the most minimum that converts and move on. You guys know Daiso? You guys know Miniso? Yeah, Miniso is a total rip-off of Daiso. It was a culture rip-off. It's a culture copy, and it worked. There was nothing innovative about it. But will it be sustainable? I don't know, because it's just in the peak, but they got billions of dollars. If that's what the business wants, go for it. Focus on the branding that converts by numbers, but you gotta be very confident with that. You gotta be so confident that somebody cannot beat you by price. Miniso could work because nobody can beat him by price. It even got cheaper than Daiso. Therefore, that is a good strategy. Only do the visual trade-off if you can afford to lose. That's what usually I'd say. But if you don't, you gotta have something that holds your customer's loyalty. If you don't have your customer's loyalty, they will just look at you as a price point. Traveloka, Skyscanner, I don't know if there is any brand loyalty, but I know I go there for price war. I will book from Traveloka anytime. I will book from Skyscanner anytime because of my travel schedule. But I kind of use Skyscanner more because they saved my information. Therefore, I could load faster. And the email comes, it's more consistent as compared to Traveloka. Because sometimes I get Bahasa Indonesia, sometimes I get the Thai language. But Skyscanner, I always get it in English. because they bothered about how I feel. That's the only thing that holds me back from switching. But of course, sometimes I go straight to AirAsia's or Scoot's website because the price point was right. So if you're going to trade off with visuals of your branding, you got to make sure that you can afford it. Because sooner or later, somebody's going to beat you by price if you cannot hold your customer's heart. That's the key thing. Yeah. We'll come back to you, man. Thanks. Can I have your name? Shen. Okay, let's come back to Shen.
We as designers, we taught as seeing visuals everywhere. So we get to the first year of design school, and you taught about like gets visual itself and all that. What usually lacks is the second part of this slide, the business thing. And even when you go to market, you still not every time being very focused and look into the business thing. The way I see the visual design in common linked with user experience is when the visual design it's just as you thought, or integral part of the experience. And the best trade-off that we have as UX designers is seeing the visual design as a KPI. So and then I would like to track two different examples for that. One of those would be the extinct Virgin America. Did you guys see that a couple of years ago?
Virgin
from Virgin America.
Wait,
just because you
not sure.
Just because you showed examples from booking air tickets. So Virgin.
Oh,
America,
you mean Virgin Airlines?
Okay.
Okay.
America. Only
Got it.
Virgin America did this almost ridiculously designed in terms of how the branding was really communicating something, looking for emotional responses.
Yep.
So the KPI there was like getting those emotional responses through the visual design. So if you go to all Virgin Airways websites nowadays,
yep,
you'll see a lot of boring, plain websites. But this Virgin America was an outstanding one, and they were immediately bought by Alaska Airways. They bought the segment from Virgin because it communicated so awesomely and so efficiently. They were taking so much emotional responses from their clients on social media. It was like this avalanche of emotional responses.
Yeah.
So this was a KPI, and it succeeded this way. So it really depends on this. And I would like to add another example from a project that I was responsible for. I worked for Vale. Vale is the largest mining company in the West.
Vale, V-A-L-E-T.
V-A-L-E.
V-A-L-E,
Yes.
okay.
They're the biggest mining company in the West right now. So I went to hit this design workshop for them to find a solution for this very granular problem that we're having. That being how the miners and supervisor for the miners would guarantee quality on the change of shifts.
Okay.
But there was one small thing that they had to work on it. It was inside a mine 3 kilometers away from the surface. So we're talking about people having their smartphones and having to interact with that on an environment without no lights. So what was my deal off from this project? I went for a dark interface. And I went for a dark interface with justifying that because people shouldn't be like flared out with their smartphones. Very simple decision, visual solution for that. I'd just like to add those kind of examples to see how the KPIs can also be visual in such kind of experiences.
Yeah, so that is a part that a lot of companies are struggling to understand. How do we quantify design? That is the hardest part. How do we like say that, oh yeah, because this design was done right, therefore it was increased and it supports the business. A lot of people misunderstand design as just visual, but it's designed for something. So you need to quantify that something. Business owners are designers. Designs are just like part of strategy. You think about, okay, I'm gonna prepare this information to give to this manufacturer, and then after that, I'll plan for that guy to come. It's designing a shipment process. As simple as that. Designing a meeting. Yeah.
So I'm a developer, but we built a system, and we found that the KPI kind of, I don't know if it's true for everyone, less complaints.
Less complaints.
Yeah. So, so we have problems with the design, and they would be complaining about this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and then we fix it, and then we have less complaints basically, which is a bit of a downer because you want the kind of well done, good job, but you just don't get it, but you just get less complaints basically. Yeah. For what we're working on anyway.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, when you mentioned the design data, data-driven design, I think it's more on this direction. Like, we have a KPI. The data was less complaints. Designed for the data, right? So
yeah, like last month we had 20 complaints about it. The previous month it was like 15, and now it's 5 or 2 or something like that.
Well, that's interesting.
Sure, on that and ask a question too. So Thais are the most brand loyal consumers in all of Asia.
Wait, say again. Thais
are the most brand loyal consumers in all of Asia. Hills, Blue Boy, Sunlight, washing detergent, you name it. These brands have 80% market share, and it doesn't matter how they're priced.
Yeah.
You have so loyalty is one aspect that you can take away as a KPI of a successful design. But since you come from an industrial design background as well, what do you take away from industrial design that you apply to UX design in terms of, I'm sort of asking you best practices.
No problem.
And how do you actually make excellent brand-driven UX design that comes from your background in industrial design?
Okay, so in product design, physically, we figure out how a person sits. And because of how the person sits, we translate that into physical feel to shape the product. Using the same principle, you put it into the digital side of things. How would a person feel? So like he's talking about the mall, e-commerce. How does a person feel when he goes into the mall before starts shopping? Two ways. I've got this amount of money, I want to spend it, therefore I go to the shop and find the price to match. Or I know what I want to find and then I go and find the product. So a lot of times depends on the user's usage. So the both things that matches exactly the same is that you need to know how you want your users to feel. Because they won't know what they want. They can come into the shop like random. Come into the online shop and like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna click on this. For a product, I'm gonna sit like this. I'm gonna sit the way I want. But design itself can channel the user. That is the key part. Design itself can channel, it can make the user do things. So it's the same. Because of the armrest, because of the way it's done, because of the way it is, it makes you do some things. Digital, same thing. You have these visual cues. So the UI guy, the user interface guy, need to understand the experience that they want to do, translate that to visualize it. So it's like this. I'm not sure if it gets. You smile. Does it make sense? Question is fine. This is actually the most valuable because of this chat. Everybody else could like get a different perspective.
Can I ask something that's not involved in UX?
Okay, that's cool.
I'm actually just a university student, but I hope to have my own business in the future. As a business owner, in your experience, what do you think is more important, the business skill or business mind? Because I know it's more, it's actually equally important, but I don't know what should I focus on first.
Business skill or business mind? Business mind.
Business mindset.
Business mindset. Business mindset. So what if you have the skills to count? So what if you know how to operate accounting? So what if you're an accountant? Does it mean you can do business? Probably not, right? I always go for the mindset first. You must have this understanding of what makes a business and how you want to make the business, how you want to earn from it, rather than just doing the business. because a lot of people want to do the business. That's why a lot of business school students don't make it. Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta know. Yeah. You look like you have a notebook. There's more questions. Okay. So I don't know if we want to go back to Shane, Shane, S-H-A-N-E. C-H-A-N. Chan. I think just now I didn't answer your question. Oh,
okay.
Hi.
So I wonder how do you balance between experience and compliance, especially for like very sensitive product or brand.
Wow.
Such as
You're asking for consulting?
sorry?
You're asking for consulting?
Yeah, or
I'll send you the bill.
I heard that you show like your best project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder.
It really depends on how far you want to bend the rules, because being compliant is just words. It's all about copywriting to make it compliant, to make you safe. So you can push the rule as far as you can, as long as somebody can help you write a better word. I think I summarized it pretty well. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree what you mean, and sometimes it's not just a wording. Sometimes like if you get the requirement from legal team that the user needs to be present at the branch or the bank to confirm that it's the real person. So how do you make a better experience or make a link between the digital and the physical world?
I'm an asshole to that, because I always question, why must the person be there? What is it for? If it's for verification, I can't fight that, because that is the base understanding of why this person needs to be there, because that is the security, and it's very hard to ban security. So that I would give up. I can't ban security. But there are other ways to make it equally secure, because it's not about being the person there or not. It's about it being safe. So focus on the base problem. Maybe that would help. Objective. Yeah. Oh, it answered you? Oh wow, that's easy.
Okay, let's take the last question, if any.
If any, or we can chat after this, so it's good. Because
Yes, and it's here then. Big applause for Mr. Andre.
Thank you.
So next month, no event. There were some conflicts with some speakers, so we're going to skip it to January. So the date has not been confirmed yet, but it's going to be about development. I don't know what it was actually about. I don't know, something about front end or back end or whatever.
Something.
Yeah. Again, big thanks to Backboy as well. You can give him an applause for his work tonight. Okay.
Sorry, with that event in the future, is it going to be very technical?
Could be.
Wait, is this technical? Whatever?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I'm an IT recruiter and I want to understand more of but I don't know if it's going very deep into it.
I don't remember what was the topic exactly, but I think it's a very technical one this time. Yeah. We'll be more for developers. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thank you very much. You can stay here, talk to the speaker, and do some networking before you leave. The place closes at 9 or 9:30, so don't just leave and disappear. You can just connect with other people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow.